They laughed as the alien fleet glassed another human city from orbit, relishing our screams as millions more perished under the unstoppable onslaught. But soon, that laughter would turn to fear, when humanity unveiled its clandestine armada poised to strike back. Mere months ago, Galactic Council chambers echoed with mockery and derision. "You humans are a joke," Norcadian Prylar had sneered at Ambassador Adam Campbell. "We should have exterminated your primitive species long ago. Your backwards planet contributes nothing of value." Other alien dignitaries nodded agreement as Adam fumed, fists clenching, voice straining to stay level. "Earth has progressed immensely since first contact. Underestimate us at your peril." Prylar's scales rippled with scorn. "Empty threats from a fractured, ignorant race. You live solely by our sufferance, not through any merit. Be grateful we grant you a presence here, undeserved as it is." Snickers rang out. Adam knew Norcadian warmongers schemed to eject or conquer humanity, a trivial task given Earth's paltry orbital forces, but they didn't know Terran engineers had toiled for decades in hidden shipyards, constructing a vast war fleet to rival the galaxy's mightiest. Fanatic Norcadian extremists, deaf to Earth's pleas, didn't wait for expulsion orders. Unprovoked bombardment rained upon human colonies and homeworld. Cities became craters. Millions died shrieking. It was pure alien malice and sadism. Grief and rage shook Adam as he transmitted the go codes. At last, Earth's secret flotilla leapt out of lightspeed, weapons charged, hulls gleaming. Stunned Prylar gaped at the armada as a chilling human transmission reached his bridge. "This is the price for underestimating us." Prylar's mocking laughter still rang in Adam's ears as he stormed back into the embassy. Heart pounding, mind reeling. He pushed past startled aides and through to a hidden inner sanctum. The door slammed shut behind him. Adam slumped against the wall, fighting to control his breathing. Then he turned and marched to a secure comms terminal. A few taps brought up a holographic comlink display. The connection opened, revealing a grizzled face staring back at him. Battle scars and medals adorned the man's uniform. "Admiral Graves, thank God you're there. Prylar is getting more brazen in the Council. They're just itching for an excuse to attack." Graves' expression remained stoic. "I feared as much. The fleet is primed and ready, but we've picked up worrying sensor readings along the Earth-Norcadia border. Their warships are massing and troop transports too, numbers way above the norm for mere patrols." Ice filled Adam's veins. "Christ, they're preparing a full-scale invasion. We have to warn Earth immediately. Get home fleet to—" "No," Graves cut him off. "We can't tip our hand yet. If the Norcadians realize we're onto them, if they learn what our ships can really do, they'll adapt their tactics. We need to play possum. Let them commit fully." Adam slammed a fist against the terminal, conflicted. Every instinct screamed to raise the alarm, but Graves was right. Secrecy was their only advantage. "How much time do we have?" 2 months, give or take, based on their build-up rate. We can get the fleet in position by then. But Adam—" Graves paused, his scarred face darkening further. "There's more. We cracked some of their High Command's transmissions. This isn't just an invasion. They want to make an example of Earth, break us completely, round up survivors for slave labor, and they've got some new weapon in the works, something codenamed Devourer. No idea what it is, but it sounds nasty, and it's going to be part of the attack." Adam's stomach turned to lead. Humanity's future teetered on the brink. In 2 months, they'd either repel the Norcadians in a surprise upset or be crushed into cruel servitude, perhaps even extinction. He looked up at Graves, jaws clenched. "Then let's make damn sure our trap is ready." Adam gripped the armrest of his chair as the UES Resilience charged ahead at full thrust, the inertial dampeners straining to compensate. Spread out before them, Earth's hidden fleet broke stealth and surged towards the enemy armada, their hulls shimmering with the faint blue glow of advanced shield generators. On the tactical display, icons blinked to life as ship after ship powered its weapons. The Norcadian fleet reacted with momentary confusion that quickly turned to alarm. Adam watched as their formation dissolved into chaos, the smaller escort ships scrambling to screen the massive devourer at the center. Its ominous green glow pulsed brighter, the light reflecting off the hull of the Resilience. "Steady!" Admiral Graves shouted over the din of the bridge. "Fire at will all batteries!" The Resilience shuddered as its main cannon spoke, a lance of blinding white energy stabbing out at the devourer. Other Earth ships followed suit, their weapons leaving glowing scars across the behemoth's hull. But the devourer's shields held, flickering and swirling with an alien pattern. The Norcadian ships rallied, swarming to protect their capital ship and returning fire with a barrage of missiles and energy beams. The bridge rocked as a salvo impacted their shields. Damage reports chimed from the crew pits. Adam held tight, his eyes never leaving the tactical display. The two fleets merged into a chaotic maelstrom, the darkness of space lit by the flash of weapons fire and the explosions of dying ships. "Devourer shields are holding," a tactical officer reported tightly. "We're not getting through." "Increase power to the forward batteries," Graves ordered, "and ready the peacemakers." Adam's breath caught. The peacemakers were Earth's secret weapon, powerful energy torpedoes designed to penetrate even the strongest shields, but they had never been tested in actual combat. The Resilience banked hard, its engines flaring as it angled for a clear shot at the devourer. The monstrous ship loomed ahead, its sickly green light pulsing faster now, building toward some unknown crescendo. "Peacemakers locked on target," the weapons officer reported. Admiral Graves leaned forward, his jaw set. "Fire." 4 bright stars streaked from the bow of the Resilience, leaving glowing trails as they hurtled towards the devourer. Adam held his breath, watching their progress on the display. And then the devourer pulsed, a wave of green energy expanding from its hull like a shockwave. It passed through the Earth fleet harmlessly. But the peacemakers shattered, exploding into clouds of debris. "No effect," the tactical officer shouted. "The peacemakers, they're gone." Admiral Graves cursed. On the view screen, the devourer glowed brighter than ever, tendrils of green energy snaking out to caress the hulls of the Norcadian ships. "Sir, energy levels on the devourer are spiking. It's preparing to fire." Adam felt a chill of primal fear. They had played their hand and the devourer had trumped it effortlessly. Now it was powering up to strike, and he had no idea what destruct. Explosions rocked the Resilience as the Norcadian barrage intensified. Consoles erupted in showers of sparks, and the lights flickered ominously. Adam gripped the arms of his chair, fighting to keep his balance as the deck shuddered beneath his feet. On the view screen, the devourer loomed, its sickly green glow pulsing like a malevolent heartbeat. Beams of energy lanced out from its hull, slicing through Earth ships like a scythe through wheat. One by one, humanity's last hope against the invaders winked out of existence, consumed by the devourer's insatiable hunger. "Shields down to 20%, a crewman shouted over the chaos. "We can't take much more of this." Admiral Graves pounded his fist on the armrest, his face contorted with frustration and despair. "Damn it all! We're throwing everything we have at that monstrosity, and it's not even scratched." Adam watched helplessly as another Earth ship vanished in a blinding flash, reduced to atoms by the devourer's relentless assault. The weight of every lost life pressed down on his soul, a burden almost too heavy to bear. Suddenly the communications console chimed urgently. "Sir, incoming transmission from Earth, it's the Prime Minister." The viewscreen flickered and resolved into the haggard face of the Prime Minister, his eyes haunted and his voice trembling with barely contained dread. "Admiral Graves, Ambassador Campbell, I have grave news. The Norcadian Emperor has issued an ultimatum. Either we surrender unconditionally, or he will unleash the Devourer on Earth itself. Billions will die." Admiral Graves surged to his feet, his face twisted with defiance. "We can't give in to their demands. We have to keep fighting, no matter the cost." But Adam saw the truth in the Prime Minister's eyes, the terrible knowledge that Earth could not withstand the Devourer's might. If they continued on this path, humanity would be wiped from the stars, reduced to ashes and bitter memories. Adam rose slowly, a leaden calm settling over him as he turned to the communications officer. "Get me a direct link to the Norcadian Emperor. I need to speak with him now." The officer glanced uncertainly at Admiral Graves, who hesitated for a moment before giving a curt nod. The view screen wavered, then coalesced into the imperious visage of Emperor Kazan, his reptilian eyes cold and pitiless. "Ambassador Campbell," the Norcadian ruler hissed, contempt dripping from every syllable. "Have you called to beg for mercy? To plead for your pathetic species' survival?" Adam met the Emperor's gaze unflinchingly, his voice steady and resolute. "I have a proposition for you, Emperor Kazan, a way to end this conflict without further bloodshed for either of our peoples." Kazan's forked tongue flicked out, tasting the air as his eyes narrowed to calculating slits. "You have my attention, human, for now." As Adam began to outline his desperate plan, he felt a strange sense of peace wash over him. He knew with grim certainty that the price for Earth's salvation would be steep. But if his sacrifice could save countless lives and preserve humanity's future, it would be a price he would gladly pay. Emperor Kazan's eyes gleamed with malice as he considered Adam's bold proposition. The Norcadian ruler leaned back in his command throne, forked tongue flicking out to taste the air. "A duel, you say? The great Emperor Kazan, facing a mere human in single combat?" Adam met the Emperor's gaze unflinchingly. "That's right, you win, Earth surrenders. I win, your forces withdraw, and leave humanity in peace, once and for all." Kazan's scaly lips curled into a sneer. "And when I crush you like the insignificant pest you are, your people will bear witness to their champion's defeat before I subjugate your pathetic planet." "Do we have an agreement?" Adam asked, voice steady. The Emperor rose to his full height, towering over the human. "We do. I will enjoy this greatly." The duel was to take place on the Devourer's Bridge, a fitting stage for the battle that would decide Earth's fate. Adam and Kazan stood opposite each other, the expanse of the ship stretching out behind them. In the distance, the wreckage of destroyed vessels drifted, a testament to the brutal conflict. Adam gripped his energy sword, the hilt thrumming in his hand. Human ingenuity had crafted the blade, a shimmering beam of controlled plasma that could slice through the toughest armor. It was a technological marvel, but would it be enough? Emperor Kazan unfurled his chosen weapon, a writhing plasma whip, its crackling tendrils eager to taste flesh. The Norcadian's eyes burned with anticipation as he began to circle his opponent. Adam matched the Emperor's movements, the two warriors orbiting each other like binary stars locked in a deadly dance. The moment stretched, tension building, until Kazan struck. The plasma whip surged forward, its glowing tendrils lashing out at blinding speed. Adam parried, energy sword flashing up to catch the whip. Plasma met plasma with a sizzling hiss. And then the two were in motion, trading blows in a furious exchange. Kazan pressed the attack, his whip a flurry of light and energy. Adam fought to hold his ground, energy sword absorbing the Emperor's strikes, but he was forced back one step, then another. Kazan was relentless, his raw strength and speed pushing Adam to the limit. Each impact sent shudders through the human's body. Sweat poured down Adam's face as he strained to keep up his defense. The Norcadian's attacks were a storm, battering at him from all angles. Adam's heel hit the edge of the bridge. There was nowhere left to retreat. Kazan bore down on him, whip cracking, a vicious snarl on his reptilian face. "Pathetic," the Emperor spat, "just like the rest of your species." In that moment, time seemed to slow. Adam saw an opening, a desperate chance. He lunged, energy sword flashing out, the point aimed directly at Kazan's heart. It was a final gambit, born of desperation and sheer human defiance. But Kazan was ready. The Emperor sidestepped with preternatural speed, Adam's strike passing harmlessly by, and then the plasma whip coiled around Adam's throat, searing into his flesh. He choked, energy sword falling from nerveless fingers to clatter on the deck. "Foolish human," Kazan sneered as he watched Adam struggle, the life fading from his eyes. "Did you really think you could defeat me?" Adam's vision darkened, lungs screaming for air. But even as the end approached, a strange calm settled over him. He had done all he could. His sacrifice would give humanity a chance. With the last of his strength, Adam's fingers found the hidden device on his wrist, the failsafe he had hoped never to use. He activated it. And across the battlefield, on the battered ships of the Earth fleet, displays lit up with a signal. The fleet's weapons, slave to Adam's failsafe, swiveled and locked onto new targets within the Norcadian fleet. A heartbeat later, the Earth ships opened fire, their advanced weaponry ripping into the enemy vessels. The Norcadian ships reeled under the unexpected onslaught, and at the heart of the conflagration, the Devourer shuddered as explosions blossomed across its hull. The malevolent green light of its world-ending weapon flickered and died. On the Devourer's bridge, Kazan had only a moment to realize what had happened, understanding and rage dawning in his eyes before the ship broke apart around him. Metal screamed and twisted, fire consumed all, and the Emperor's final roar of defiance was lost in the maelstrom of destruction. It was over. The Earth fleet, battered and bleeding, began the long journey home. They had won, but the cost had been immense. Adam Campbell, hero of Earth, was gone, his life given in defense of his people. And on the bridge of the Resilience, Admiral Graves stood in silence, head bowed, as the weight of their victory settled onto his shoulders like a shroud. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.